Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading this is your August bonus reading. I don't know what I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna call this like August main events or something like that. We're gonna take a look at the main things that are happening this month and how they will affect you in the astrology. So this isn't everything that's going to be happening, but we are going to look at this triple conjunction in Taurus that's between the North Node, Uranus, and Mars, and that is happening on the 1st. But again, even if you're watching this after the 1st, you're going to be dealing with this energy for quite a long time. So that's fine. Next, we're going to look at the full moon that will be happening in Aquarius, and that will be on August 11th, and that will be this row right here for you, Pisces. Then we're going to take a look at the Uranus retrograde, which starts on August 24th, and that will be this next row. And finally, we're going to take a look at the new moon that's going to be happening in Virgo, and that's going to be on the 27th, and that will be this last row here. I'm probably not going to clarify the whole entire spread. I don't know. Never done this before. This is one of my crazy experiments, so let me know if you like it. Let's see. Let's dive right in here and look. In the first position here with the triple conjunction that's happening in Taurus on the 1st, well, technically before the 1st, it's already happened, but we're dealing with the energy right at the beginning of August. You have the spirit guardian of autumn. It says letting go. And you have this hammock. It says taking a vacation physically or mentally. Taking a break could be really, really good for you. I would say that the letting go part makes perfect sense with the triple conjunction because, I've said it a million times over the past 3 months, building up to this triple conjunction, that we need to be super flexible at this time. And, what I feel like if you embrace this energy, you will be very successful with this triple conjunction. I feel that, it kind of has Mars in there. It's kind of a little bit fiery. I feel like it's, things could kind of go both ways with this triple conjunction, but I think it's only going to be hard for people that are fixed, that have a fixed mindset about how things have to work in their life. So the more, I think the letting go part is about being as flexible as you possibly can here, Pisces. You have the Ace of Swords, the Justice card, and the Wheel of Fortune. Literally, I've been saying all year that justice is the answer for 2022. To me, justice is cause and effect. So it basically just says, if you can pay attention to how things happen, or if you can pay attention to what's working in your life, you're going to be very successful. And what I mean by that is the Justice card, he takes a very balanced, or this justice person here takes a very balanced approach to how everything happens, kind of like a neutral approach. This justice person here, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really care what works in their life. They're just if I put energy into something, do I get energy back? So I would be very, very pay very close attention to that. It's kind of funny because in this first row, and also your second row here, which we're going to talk about in a minute, I feel like some of you could be changing the way you dress, your appearance, pretty much anything like that. For whatever reason, it's popping into my head. If you are changing your appearance in some way, like the way you dress or, something that you're doing with yourself, I feel like this is going to be very good for you, especially if you're doing this to build confidence, I'm looking at this, and this Justice person has the color red on, and I do feel like red could be, I don't know, it's popping into my head that red could be a good color for you to wear, but I don't really think color is important. I feel like how it makes you feel is what's important. If wearing a suit makes you feel powerful, do it. If wearing a black t-shirt every single day for the past, I don't know, how long have I been doing this? The black t-shirt is a joke that went too far, right? 4 years, something like that, every single day. And what I would say is, if it makes you feel powerful, I would do it with the Justice card. But again, with justice, I would be cause and effect. And, anything that you're working on, especially with this placement, the triple conjunction, all of August, I would say, for the, really the foreseeable future, I would be paying very close attention to what works, what doesn't work in your life. And I would be making sure to double down on the things that work, because it's just going to feed you more energy. You have the Ace of Swords as well, so definitely a victory. I see a change here, Pisces, is what I would say. So it wouldn't really surprise me if you change the way you make money, for example. You have the Eight of Pentacles here. I do feel there could be some sort of financial kind of ending coming in here, but probably, I would say, if I'm being honest, not till the beginning of next year in January. But it looks to me like you're building up to this change. This is going to be a good change, is what I'm going to say to you. You have this money path card. It says a path with money is waiting for you. And it also says find it as well. So I feel like you have to find this path, but I do feel there is a lot of success financially coming in for you. The Ace of Swords is kind of like also communication, and I do feel that there are some important things going on with communication for you this month in particular, outside of the main events that we're talking about in this reading. And my best advice for you this month, especially I think Mercury is going to be like squaring Pisces this month, squaring basically Deacon 1, which is like the first third of Pisces, and what I would say here is I think it would be a really good month to listen, to make sure that if some people are telling you things, that you take the information in, process it, listen to it, and then respond. Because sometimes I think we get too excited about an idea and we just want to tell everybody about it, but we don't actually listen to anything that's coming in that could actually be good advice. So I would listen to advice. You also have the Wheel of Fortune here, and amazing. So I feel like you can expect a turnaround. I actually see this as an improvement. I'm pretty sure I said this in your August reading in general. I actually feel the second half is going to be better than the first half of the year for you. I see improvements in general for you. I feel like you're feeling better. I feel like things are going like more in the right direction for you. As I always say, tarot doesn't control your life. You have to take action on the things that are presented here. But if you do that, I feel like you're going to have a really good time. If you don't do anything, then nothing is going to happen, obviously. But the Wheel of Fortune is about taking control of your personal vision for your life. The Wheel of Fortune is your destiny, but it's not going to just magically happen. Even when we look here, we have the Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Wands to the Hangman. That Hangman is like, and also this Ace of Swords goes to the Hangman as well. This kind of energy to me says that you have all the knowledge, wisdom, pretty much everything necessary to be very successful at this time. The Hangman kind of says, like, dance. The Hangman says, get off the pole and start working, right? The Hangman says it's time to start working towards these ideas that you've been gathering for a long time, whether it's about love, business, money, pretty much anything. Next, you have this new moon in Libra. This is in the area of the full moon in Aquarius on August 11th. And it says, a new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. You have this dog. It says, protection from powerful friends. I kind of feel like you are protected at this time. The same message is kind of popping into my head. Sorry, I'm paranoid. The other day I recorded like 20 videos and it didn't record, so I keep looking to make sure it's recording. But anyway, what I would say is that, I feel like this is kind of going back to that whole response thing. I feel like if people are, hating on you or whatever, I feel like it would be best the whole entire month to have no response, right? Just if people are talking about you, whatever, let them do it, because it's almost like people are not only going to come to your defense and, defend you, but I feel with this type of energy that, responding is probably going to make you look bad. So I would be careful of that. Definitely could be a new romantic cycle coming in for you. Again, I feel like the end of this year, more like the fourth quarter, is much better, as far as love is concerned. Then when we get into the new year, really good for you. So you could be starting this new romantic cycle. Again, with Libra here, I would be focusing on kind of like equal give and take and making sure that you're entering into a situation where there is equal give and take. I know that sounds obvious, but we don't always do it, right? I would also say when I'm getting here as far as love, I wouldn't call this a love reading, number one, although I do feel love is here as always. What I would say is that as far as love is concerned, I kind of feel more of an energy of someone who just kind of like fits into the life that you've already established. It's like, I really don't know I don't have good words for this, Pisces, but it's almost like I think we develop a life, right? We all have a life, even when we don't have a relationship, obviously. I feel like this person just kind of like fits in. There's no need to like change anything. There's no need to do anything. There's no real compromise here. I'm not saying you shouldn't compromise, but I feel like things kind of just fit a little bit nicer. Is it always going to be perfect? No, there's no such thing as perfect, but I feel like someone coming in, it just fits better. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and the Empress here for the full moon in Aquarius. And the Eight of Pentacles is kind of you being focused on work, so I do feel you're very focused on work at this time. I also kind of feel something about your tools changing as well. I'm really focused on this hammer that he has in his hand, and that's where, like, what I'm feeling intuitively. I feel for some of you there's a change in the way that you work coming in for you. This is going to be one of the things that's going to be very beneficial for you, I feel, here, Pisces, over the next few months. For some of you, I feel this could be like I'm getting like the platform. It's like, imagine if I'm a Pisces, if I took YouTube and I did a podcast, which I'm going to be doing anyway, but just giving you an example here, it's like I'm totally making this change, but I feel it for you as well. You could be changing the way that something, like the platform that you use, and this could be in your career as well. I also just feel that you are extremely focused work and kind of getting that bag, Pisces. So definitely a good year. I mean, I feel like this is a good year for money for you in general, Pisces. And a lot of Pisces have said to me, hey, my finances have gone down this year. How is a good year for money? I'm like, well, here's what you have to realize. It's like your money could be going down and it could still be a good year for money, because your money going down could lead you to an idea that makes your money go way up, right? And that's how money going down is actually a good thing. And what I would say to you is maybe that's the beginning of the year, right? Kind of like a little bit of a dip in the beginning of the year for you, Pisces. Now I feel it's maybe leading you to some ideas that are going to lift you back up financially. Maybe not like very, very rapidly, but quickly enough. You have the Ten of Wands. I feel like if this is you, then you need to change. Ten of Wands is a card of burdens. Personally, I like the Ten of Wands. That's a harvest that he is carrying, and this is his home back here. So he's about to have a harvest in his life, but and he's about to put down the burden. But for you, Pisces, I feel like this is more of a mindset. I feel like it's you thinking, I have to work harder. And, again, I would just be careful of that thinking you have to work harder. I think this reading is more talking about fulfillment with that justice card as well, in the sense of like what is going to lead to the most fulfillment for you, what is going to make you feel best. And it's probably not forcing things to happen. It's probably not like working crazy hard with the Ten of Wands, right? And you have the Empress. She just understands that she comes from never-ending source intelligence. She doesn't worry about anything. I think I said it to you maybe a couple weeks ago. If you only knew that you had enough ideas to support you for thousands of lifetimes, you probably wouldn't worry. The reason I think we worry about things is because it's like we think we have to have some sort of career, or we think we have to have some sort of job or whatever. We don't realize that we can, create our own abundance, because no one has ever told us that. No one's ever proved it to us either, right? Well, actually, there are some spiritual teachers that talk about it, but I feel like you're really, really in that mode. And you're really in that space of kind of being able to create a lot of abundance at this time. And, of course, it's going to require work, of course, but I do feel that you have some hidden talent, gifts, skills, and abilities that could make that happen. Everything about the Empress is meant to represent luxury. Even the clothing on her body is meant to look very heavy. You can see that it's kind of like going into the creases of her legs here. So it's meant to represent kind of something of great quality. It is popping to my head again. It popped into my head on the Justice card that some of you could be changing the way you dress. I feel like whatever makes you feel more confident, I would definitely do it. I feel like being in that energy is what this is all about. I also feel that creating more quality experiences could be a good idea for you. Like if there are things, it's really simple. If there are things that you enjoy doing, I would do those things with the Empress. This could be putting yourself in, going places that you enjoy going. Anything that you consider to be a luxury. And again, it doesn't have to cost money. People always say, I don't have money. And I always say, right, go find something that you consider to be a luxury that's free. Go do it. Could be, going on a hike somewhere really beautiful. Could be whatever, right? It doesn't have to be financial. And go be in that energy. You're just going to attract more of it. And that's what I would do with this Empress card for sure. Next, you have this Black Egg card. You also have this Money Path card. It says a money path. It says a path with money is waiting for you to find it. I feel like there should be an exclamation point. I'm going to show you over here. I feel like there should be an exclamation point at the end of that there, Pisces, right here somewhere. So I do feel there could be a lot of improvement in finances, or a lot more money coming in for you here, and I really like to see that. This Black Egg is kind of like a spiritual. It's more of a spiritual energy is what I would say to you. And again, I don't think I told you, this is the row of the Uranus retrograde that's going to be on the 24th. And the Black Egg is kind of about like a spiritual practice or doing something more spiritually. The funny thing is that I would say with the conjunction that's also with Uranus at the beginning of the month, that conjunction is kind of all about it's kind of all about like how can we do more for others but also fulfill ourselves. And I was reading this book. I have this book on the degrees in astrology, and I've been talking about how all this conjunction is basically all those planets on the 18th are going to on the 1st of August are at 18 degrees of Taurus. And so I was looking at this book, I can't remember the name of it, that I have about the degrees, and that degree, 18 degrees of Taurus, is something about like a woman with 1,000 breasts or something like that. And it's all about like kind of like giving to other people and fulfilling other people and doing all those things. That does not mean you don't fulfill yourself, by the way. I think too many people, and especially here, Hangman, Ace of Swords, too much sacrifice, right? This is not about self-sacrifice, but it is about creating fulfillment for others. And I kind of feel that with this Black Egg card. I feel like it's saying that around that Uranus retrograde time, right? You could be very focused on creating something financially that somehow helps other people, or that does something for other people, or that fulfills the world in some way, or nurtures the world in some way. In this row, we have the Hangman, your energy for sure, Five of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. I feel like this is about, the whole reading's about balance, because we have the Justice card over here, of course. But what I would say is that the Five of Pentacles basically says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. It is a card of poverty and kind of feeling left out in the cold. You can see that these people are outside this church, but they could easily go inside the church here on the card, and they could find, warmth, shelter, maybe abundance. Who knows? There's money right here as well. So, they could find money. I always say on the Five of Pentacles, the pentacles are on the card, right? So it is a card of poverty, but there are pentacles right here. So it's kind of like one of those things where it says that, there is something to support you where you need it. But I feel like this is more talking about self-sacrifice. I feel like it's saying, absolutely, you should be doing something that could potentially help other people, that could, like I said, lead to fulfillment in the world, teach other people abundance, whatever the case may be. You could be working on those things, but not at the cost of yourself, right? Could be helping animals, could be doing anything, as long as you're not sacrificing yourself. You even have the Six of Wands, which is kind of interesting because the Six of Wands is kind of like a card of ego. It's a card of success and excellence. He has earned his place on this horse right here. So, I feel like you need to realize that there's a person over here who's a little bit jealous, kind of looking up to him, and they might be looking at him in a jealous way. But again, he has earned his right to be there. He's also wearing red. I totally forgot about that. Red might be a good color for you, but I feel that needing to realize that you've earned your place is kind of like part of what is going to make you successful. There might be people who don't like your success, but again, I feel like you shouldn't be paying attention to those people just in general. So that's what I would say here. But I feel like a lot of success coming in for you. You have the Hangman. It's like enough. I feel like you understand your values. Again, Uranus and Taurus is all about values for you, Pisces. And it's all about, I feel like it's all about values for pretty much everyone, pretty much. But, I feel in a lot of ways that this is a much better place for you financially as well. Uranus was in your second house for a long time. Uranus and Aries in the second, the worst, right? It's like making money and then losing it all, and then making a bunch of money, then losing it all. It's like financial stress, to the max. So I feel like you've been through that. I feel like this retrograde could be kind of not bringing those moments back, obviously, because it's in Taurus, but I feel like you could be reminded of those moments where you made a bunch of money and you lost it. I would make sure that your focus is on the fact that Uranus has changed signs. Uranus is in Taurus. I feel like you need to realize that it's like those days are gone where you start a project and it only lasts a certain amount of time. I feel like you really have the chance or the opportunity to build some long-term success here, Pisces. So I definitely really like this for you. Finally, at the end, with the new moon in Virgo on the 27th, you have this time to go card, and you have this bell card. It says announcement on it. I feel that some of you could literally be waiting to announce something to the world. You could be releasing something to the world as well, like a project or a business, and I feel like it is time for you to do that. I kind of feel this time to go card is talking about like I feel like it's saying that there has been a limbo situation in your life for too long. So I feel for some of you that this could be love for sure. If you have a situation like a situation ship or a situation shit in your life, I feel like this is saying time to go. It's like if it's not going anywhere, I feel like it's time to cut it off, right? Especially with this energy, I feel like it's either time to like piss or get off the pot, as they say, and get moving, because it could just be the thing that is holding you back. For others, I do like really to me this month, especially with that conjunction, we could be moving on from just many different things. It's not like just one thing or the other. So it wouldn't really surprise me if you're kind of making some transitions with this energy. You have the Temperance card, the Three of Wands, and the Ten of Swords. Again, this Ten of Swords could be like a difficult ending. It could be something that makes you a little bit sad, but at the same time, the Ten of Swords is something that's dead, done, over with. And there's a new day dawning back here. And even if we look at the rest of the cards, they're actually very positive in this row. So I kind of feel like it is saying that something you could be leaving something behind here, Pisces, but at the same time, I feel like you have a lot to look forward to. You have the Three of Wands, card of expansion, card of growth. I also feel you could be taking the lead on a new project, but I definitely feel a need to get moving here. I know I always say this to you. One thing that I would say is, again, tarot and astrology, they don't control your life. As I always say, tarot should be kind of like a tiny little sprinkling of happiness on your life, right? Very loose advice at best, and I do this for a living. So what I would say here with the Three of Wands is that I do feel it's time to get moving. And the other thing that I'm feeling here is it's like if you're feeling like you want to start something, like a new project, but you're saying the end of this year, a lot of retrogrades, a lot of retrograde energy in general, you could be thinking to yourself, is it the right time to start it? Should I start it now? I always tell people, it's like if you're meant to do something, a retrograde isn't going to stop it from being successful in your life, right? Plain and simple. It's like the astrology, I love astrology. Obviously, I love tarot, like I always say, but it's like these things don't stop things from happening. And I really feel that, that's where, I love what I do, but again, I've always been that person here on YouTube that reads tarot that's like, I love this, but at the same time, I don't like to see when people are like, you said that I should move this week, but, I want to move next year. Am I screwed? I'm always like, no. It's like, if you want to move next year, just move next year. It'll be fine. It'll be good. If you want to start a business right now and Mercury is retrograde, it's like, just start it now. It's like, yeah, might something happen? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean stop. That's the other thing that I think is super important. It's like, yes, there might be, maybe something slows down. Maybe you make a mistake. But guess what? It's a mistake. You can fix mistakes, right? You can fix things that happen. So I feel like there's a need to kind of like get moving. And here's the thing. I always tell people, I love making mistakes during Mercury retrograde because usually we learn about like 300 times faster during a Mercury retrograde because it's like, the retrograde caused some sort of mistake to happen. We fix it and we learn a lot faster. Finally, you have the Temperance card in this row. The Temperance card is about patience, and I feel like you have been very patient, but I also feel that you're kind of like, this is saying, whatever this time to go situation is, you probably know what it is. It's probably been something that's been in your life for a long time where you're like saying, and even, the Three of Wands is like, what are you waiting for? It's like you could be preventing yourself from finding a lot of success or a lot of happiness in your life. And the Temperance card is like saying, you've been pouring water back and forth between these two cups. Maybe you've been trying to make a decision, or you've been weighing your options, or you've been thinking about things. And it's like, now is the time. Now it's time for you to take action. I feel like now is the time for you to go. Plain and simple, Pisces. But this looks pretty good. Excuse me. I am going to get a couple quick details here. I don't really want to drag this out, but we will kind of clarify some of this. In the first row, I do want to clarify this Justice card. You have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords really says take a risk. I would say that the risk with the Justice card is trying new things, obviously. Again, Justice is cause and effect. It's like, if I try this new thing, do I get a result? And I feel this energy of not wanting to waste time, right? I feel this energy of you saying, like, I don't want to start something and waste my time. I wouldn't look at it like that. I would make sure that you just look at it as a learning experience. Trust me, I was there for a very long time. Like, after I had a business failure, I tried a bunch of things, and then I got to this place where I just stopped trying things because I was like, I don't want to waste time, right? But really, if I kept going, I'd probably be much more successful, much faster if I had kept going at that time. So don't be afraid to take risks. I do feel some of you could be dealing with a divorce, separation here with these cards. It's pretty obvious. Justice, Ten of Swords, Five of Swords, Ace of Swords. There you go. Could be Justice. I'm going to clarify that this Ten of Wands actually in the middle as well. You have the Ten of Cups, Fortune after difficulty. Again, that's the feeling I was getting, is that kind of like in work, business, or anything really that you're working on, anything that's a burden, right? If there are things that are weighing on your shoulders, whatever you want to call it, I feel like you have the Ten of Wands version and you have the Ten of Cups version, if that makes sense, where it's like the way you're doing it could be the Ten of Wands, could be a burden, but there could be an easier way. There could be a much happier way as well with the Ten of Cups. You're not the only sign that's had a message like this. Again, I'm not suggesting, like I've been saying to people, I'm not suggesting things will be easy, but I am saying like things could be much more enjoyable. That doesn't mean you're not going to be putting in the work or anything like that. So I would look for that if in work or business. If you're thinking, how can I make this harder, I would go the other direction. Or if it's already hard, I would be looking or researching or learning how to maybe create a system so it's less of a burden. Or could you hire people, or could you get people to help you? There's a million options. I want to clarify this Hangman up here. It's just you, King of Cups, showing up. So I feel like that Hangman is your energy coming up. in this row. This is under the Uranus retrograde as well. I would make sure to watch your emotions during this time. And again, like I was saying kind of at the beginning of the reading, I do feel it would be a really good time for you to more like listen, to take information in, and to not react to things. You know, I don't know, just popped into my head, right? I want to clarify this Five of Pentacles as well. You have the Devil. I would be careful of any bad habits, of course, with the Devil. I would be careful of pretty much, anything, overspending, negative habits, stuff like that with the Devil. I don't really feel like this is bad. I just feel like it's saying, don't get into a situation. I would also be careful of anything that's like draining you, anything that sucks away your energy with the Devil. I'm going to clarify that Six of Wands as well. Yeah, you have the World. I don't know, some sort of achievement coming in for you. The Devil, again, pretty much actually that adds up with the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands could be something that's draining you, that's actually making you less successful. That's actually stealing money from you. So for those of you that maybe have a business or career or job, and maybe you've been thinking about making a change, that Uranus retrograde time could be a good time to start looking to make a change. I would be, again, like I said, looking for something that maybe helps other people or helps something in the world, right? Or provides value to people in the world. That's another good way to work with this energy, I believe, is just providing value. I truly believe that we are compensated based off of the value that we put out into the world. One of my favorite books of all time, The Science of Getting Rich, he talks all about providing more than people that you serve get, or more than they pay for, right? Kind of like over delivering. And you're not, like, I wouldn't go crazy, right? There is a point where you're burning yourself out. But he talks about making sure that everything you do, in that book, Wallace D. Wattles, he says that your thought should be on increase for the person that you are, doing things for, being a client of, working for, all this other stuff. So, I definitely feel that could kind of get things going here. I want to clarify the Temperance card in the last row for the new moon in Virgo on the 27th. You have the Seven of Swords. Again, doing things a different way. Seven of Swords, he is stealing those swords from an army in the background here. And it basically just represents the fact that he's going to war, but in a different way. He's not going to war like head on. He's not moving, he's not charging towards them and trying to hit them with swords. He's trying to steal the swords. So again, kind of represents doing things in a different way. I would be careful. Some of you could be getting out of a, again, I don't really see this as a relationship reading, but what I would say is I do feel love is available, number one, new love. And number two, I would say you could be getting out of a situation with a person who's like a little tricky. I think you knew all along, is what I feel like saying to you, Pisces. If this is a love thing that you're getting out of and it's like a tricky person, I feel like you knew the whole time that it was kind of like a tricky situation. With the Three of Wands, you have the Chariot, so definitely a victory coming in for you here around that time of the 27th, probably closer to the end of the month. And especially if you're taking action. Chariot is about taking control. Chariot says, where there's a will, there's a way. I'm going to end it here, Pisces. I think that really the astrology for the rest of the year, I've already told you this in past readings, is to be bold, brave, assertive, really go for stuff, right? I'm not saying you have to, bust your ass and work really hard. But what I am saying is like taking control, making sure you're like really taking action on your ideas, regardless of what's going on, regardless of what I say in tarot readings, regardless of what so-and-so says on astrology readings, all that other stuff. I would just be taking action and, moving forward. And that's what I'm doing personally. And so, I'm not one of those people. I hate when people say, do as I say, not as I do. I do it, right? So I'm a living example. Just look at the channel, right? So I would get moving, not bragging, but I think you should be bragging. 6 of Wands. So, get on your high horse, Pisces. But thank you. Love it. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Let me know if you like these main event readings, and definitely enjoy your month.